2023 NEET exam in Tamil Nadu conduct or not? Yes, Tamil Nadu. Definitely, why not? Test the primary sex organs, the testes in the males and the ovaries in the females. Produce more the sperm and the respectively the gross community demonstrates heads. Test the image of male cells, spermatogonia produce sperms by spermatogenesis that begins at puberty. The spermatogonia present on the inside wall of seminiferous tubules multiply by mitotic division and increases in numbers. Each spermatogonium is haploid and produces 46 and contains 46 chromosomes. 2023 NEET exam in Tamil Nadu conduct or not? Yes. The NEET exam will be conducted in Tamil Nadu 2023. Why not? Nandini, yes. ब्रो आप कश्मीर में कहाँ से हैं? जी हम कश्मीर से गांधरबल डिस्ट्रिक्ट से हैं हम। हाय ब्रो और क्या? हाय एवरीबॉडी। लाइव कैसे करते हो? जी फ़ोन से हम लाइव स्ट्रीम कर रहे हैं अभी फ़ोन है उसी से। सिलेबस तो हुआ कंप्लीट, अभी रिवीजन जारी है, रिवीजन कर रहे हैं हम। रिवाइज खाली रिवीजन और टेस्ट सीरीज दे रहे हैं। टारगेट कितना? टारगेट तो 720 होता है सबका, हमारा भी 720 है, सबका 720 है। कम से कम 630 प्लस आना चाहिए। हम PW के किसी बैच में नहीं है, हमने टेस्ट सीरीज ज्वाइन की है। PW की टेस्ट सीरीज हमने ज्वाइन की है, हमने कोई बैच एनरोल नहीं किया वहाँ पे। चलिए मैं ड्रॉप आउट स्टूडेंट, ड्रॉपर हूँ। ट्वेल्थ कब हुआ आपका? हमने 2 अटेम्प्ट दिए हैं नीट के। पहला दिया हमने 2020 में, दूसरा 2021 में। 2020 में था स्कोर हमारा 450, 2021 में था स्कोर हमारा 523। अभी 2022 में हमारा थर्ड अटेम्प्ट है, देखते हैं क्या होता है। ड्रीम डॉक्टर, हेलो हेलो, कहाँ से हो भाई? हम कश्मीर से हैं, अभी श्रीनगर में हैं, हॉस्टल में। हमारा 12th हुआ कंप्लीट 2019 एंडिंग में, फिर होता है 2020 में था मई में एग्ज़ाम, फिर हुआ वो पोस्टपोन। 2020 का एग्ज़ाम पोस्टपोन हुआ, फिर 2021 का एग्ज़ाम भी पोस्टपोन हुआ, नीट एग्ज़ाम। 2019 में हमने 12th किया है कंप्लीट। 2020 Anushka Kumari, hi. possess numerous mitochondria which produce energy for the movement of tail that facilitates sperm motility essential for fertilization. The human male ejaculates about 200 to 300 million sperm during coitus, for which normal fertility at least 60% sperm must have normal shape and size, and at least 40% of them must show vigorous motility. Sperm is released from the seminiferous tubules are transported by the accessory ducts. Secretions of the epididymis, vas deferens, seminal vesicle, and the prostate are essential for maturation and motility of sperms. The seminal plasma, along with the sperms, constitute the semen. The functions of the male sex accessory glands and ducts are maintained by the testicular hormones. I'm from Jammu and Kashmir. The primary sex organ, the testes in the males and the ovaries in the females produce gametes through gametogenesis. In the testes, the immature male germ cell spermatogonia produces sperms by spermatogenesis that begins at puberty. The spermatogonia, which are present on the inside wall of seminiferous tubules, multiply by mitotic division and increase in numbers. Each spermatogonium is diploid and contains 46 chromosomes. Some of the spermatogonia, called primary spermatocytes, periodically undergo meiosis. Spermatocytes, primary spermatocytes go through meiosis. A primary spermatocyte completes the first meiotic division and produces two equal haploid cells called secondary spermatocytes having 23 chromosomes. The secondary spermatocytes undergo second meiotic division to produce four equal haploid spermatids. The spermatids are transformed into spermatozoa by the process of spermiogenesis. The sperm heads then become embedded in the Sertoli cells and are finally released from the seminiferous tubules by the process of spermiation. Spermiogenesis is the term for a conversion of spermatozoa into spermatogonia, spermatids into spermatozoa, spermiogenesis, Sertoli cells, where sperm heads releasing the release of sperms from the Sertoli cells is called spermiation. Spermatogenesis starts at the age of puberty with a significant increase in the gonadotropin releasing hormone. This physical hypothalamic hormone, the increased levels of the gonadotropin releasing hormone acts on the anterior pituitary and stimulates the release of two gonadotropin, the luteinizing hormone and the follicle stimulating hormone. Luteinizing hormone acts on the Leydig cells and stimulates the secretion and the synthesis and secretion of androgens. Androgens in turn stimulate the process of spermatogenesis. Follicle stimulating hormone acts on Sertoli cells and stimulates the release of certain factors which help in the process of spermiogenesis. Let's examine the structure of the sperm. It is a microscopic structure composed of head, neck, middle piece, and tail. A plasma membrane envelops the whole body of the sperm. The sperm head contains an elongated haploid nucleus, the anterior portion of which is covered by a cap-like structure called the acrosome. The acrosome is filled with enzymes that help in the fertilization of the ovum. The middle piece possesses numerous mitochondria which possess energy for the movement of tail that facilitates sperm motility and essential for fertilization. The human male ejaculates about 200 to 300 million sperms during a coitus, for which normal fertility at least 60%. Sperm must have normal shape and size, and at least 40% should possess vigorous motility. Sperm release from are essential for maturation and the motility of the sperm. The seminal plasma, along with the sperms, constitute the semen. The functions of the male sex accessory ducts and glands are maintained by the testicular hormones or androgens that are released from the Leydig cells by the action of the luteinizing hormone from the anterior pituitary, which in turn gets released from the gonadotropin releasing hormone from the hypothalamus. The process of formation of a mature female gamete is called oogenesis, which is markedly different from that of spermatogenesis. Oogenesis is initiated during the embryonic development stage when a couple of million gametes million gamete mother cells, oogonia, are formed within each fetal ovary. No more oogonia are formed and added after birth. No more oogonia are formed and added after birth. No more oogonia are formed and added after birth. These cells start division and enter into aprophase first of the meiotic division and get temporarily arrested at the stage called the primary oocyte. Each primary oocyte then gets surrounded by a layer of granulosa cells and is called the primary follicle. A large number of follicles degenerate during the phase of from birth up to puberty. Therefore, at puberty, 60 to 80,000 primary follicles are present in each ovary. The primary follicles get surrounded by a more layer of granulosa cells and a new theca and are called the secondary follicles. The secondary follicle soon transforms into a tertiary follicle which is characterized by a fluid-filled cavity called antrum. The theca layer is now organized into an inner theca interna and an outer theca externa. It's important to draw your attention that at this stage that the primary oocyte within the ovary, within the tertiary follicle, grows size and completes its first meiotic division. It is unequal division resulting in the formation of the haploid secondary oocyte and the first polar body. The secondary oocyte retains the bulk of the nutrient-rich cytoplasm of the primary oocyte as the first division. At present, that we are not certain about the tertiary follicle further joins into the mature follicle or the Graafian follicle. The secondary oocyte forms a new membrane called the zona pellucida surrounding it. The Graafian follicle is now ruptured to release the secondary oocyte from the ovary by the process called ovulation. Ovulation में secondary oocyte release होता है, not ovum. Second meiotic division होता है complete at the time of fertilization. First meiotic division is complete या tertiary follicle बनाना. Tertiary follicle is characterized by the fluid-filled cavity called as the antrum. उसके बाद थीका इंटरना बनता है, उसके बाद थीका एक्सटर्ना बनता है, उसके बाद होता है जो primary oocyte होता है within the tertiary follicle, grows in size and completes its first meiotic division, which is unequal, resulting in the formation of the first polar body and the secondary oocyte. Since the division is unequal, secondary oocyte retains the bulk of the cytoplasm of the primary oocyte. उसके बाद जो tertiary follicle, it transforms into Graafian follicle, gets surrounded by a layer of zona pellucida. After that, the Graafian follicle ruptures and releases the secondary oocyte that's called as the ovulation at the middle of each menstrual cycle. It's complete. The process of formation of a mature female gamete is called oogenesis, which is markedly different from the spermatogenesis. Oogenesis initiates during the embryonic development when a couple of million gamete mother cells, oogonia, are formed within each fetal ovary. No more oogonia are formed or added after birth. No more oogonia are formed or added after birth. These cells start division and enter into aprophase first of the meiotic division and get temporarily arrested. Aprophase first of the meiotic division and get temporarily arrested called as a primary oocyte. Each primary oocyte then gets surrounded by a large number of granulosa cells and is called the primary follicle. A large number of primary follicles gets degenerated from birth up to puberty. Therefore, at puberty, only 60,000 to 80,000 primary follicles are present in each ovary. The primary follicle gets surrounded by more layer of the granulosa cells and a new theca layer and transforms into the secondary follicle. The secondary follicle soon transforms into a tertiary follicle, which is characterized by fluid-filled cavity called antrum. Now the theca layer gets organized into an inner theca interna and the outer theca externa. At this stage, the primary oocyte within the tertiary follicle grows in size and completes its first meiotic division, which is unequal and results in the formation of the first small polar body and large secondary oocyte, which retains the bulk of the cytoplasm from the primary oocyte. The Graafian follicle now transforms into the tertiary follicle now transforms into a Graafian follicle, which gets surrounded by a new layer called as the zona pellucida. The Graafian follicle now ruptures and releases the secondary oocyte. The process is called as ovulation. Therefore, ovulation is the process of release of secondary oocyte from the ruptured Graafian follicle. Ruptured Graafian follicle.